Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. 9 rules the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders have to follow. Being part of one of the most elite cheerleading teams in the NFL may look like a glamorous job, but thanks to behind-the-scenes shows like CMT's Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, Making the Team, and America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Netflix, we now know there's more to being a Dallas cheerleader than meets the eye. There are endless hours of practice, coupled with low pay, and a lot of pressure to achieve perfection every time they pick up their pom-poms. And that's just for game day performances. Off the field, there are plenty of demands that they must meet in order to maintain DCC status. A list of rules longer than a CVS receipt accompanies admittance into the coveted DCC tribe, and the standards are higher than their famous split jump when it comes to how the team represents the brand both on and off the field. From hair and makeup to their enviable physiques, there is not one area of a DCC's life that's left to chance. Even aspects of their social lives are dictated by the organization and its list of do's and don'ts. According to America's Sweethearts series director, Greg Whiteley, there's a reason for that. If you go into Texas and you mention the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they are beloved, Whiteley told People. In fact, one could make the argument, you can fire coaches, you can trade players, but you better not do anything to that uniform or that standard or that brand. Societal expectations on people in the public eye are harsh, and when you are part of a group like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, who are known for their combination of athleticism, beauty, and full-on sex appeal, it can be especially brutal. But that level of expectation wasn't arrived at by accident. Since its inception, the DCC has carefully cultivated a look that has become synonymous with NFL cheerleading. And while they are not the only team in the league to create an image, they are considered by many to be the yardstick by which all others are measured. To be clear, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders website states that they don't have official height and weight requirements to become a member of the squad. Instead, though, it stipulates, you should look well-proportioned in dancewear. That's because part of the audition process includes trying on the iconic blue and white uniform that leaves little to the imagination. It's very form-fitting, and it's definitely not one-size-fits-all, admitted DCC director Kelly Finglass in an episode of America's Sweethearts. How it looks on the body could make or break a hopeful's chances of earning a spot on the team. Veteran DCC Kelsey Waterberg pointed out in the same episode, if someone looks like the uniform belongs on them, it could change the trajectory of training camp. That knowledge can put a lot of pressure on a young dancer who dreams of becoming a DCC. Malik Hooker says discipline of Mike Zimmer should help Cowboys defense improve. Cowboys defensive players love Dan Quinn, who left as the team's defensive coordinator to become Washington's head coach. They won't love Mike Zimmer as much, but could the defense be even better than it was under Quinn because of that? Safety Malik Hooker seems to think it's a possibility. I would say the biggest difference is the discipline that we are going to have this year, Hooker said on Keyshawn Johnson's All Facts, No Breaks podcast, via Ivan Lambert of USA Today. Quinn was the Cowboys' defensive coordinator for 3 seasons, and the team ranked 4th, 9th and 6th respectively in yards allowed and 19th, 12th and 5th in points allowed. He won Assistant Coach of the Year in 2021 after taking over a defense that was the worst in team history in 2020. I love DQ, Hooker said. We still talk to this day. He's a big reason why I am still in Dallas to this day. There is a certain way you have to coach certain guys. I feel like because of how player-oriented DQ was, guys would relate to him, and he wouldn't have to coach a certain way that Zim does now. Mike Zimmer will give you a couple of chances to mess up. If you keep messing up and can't get it right, he is going to get somebody else in there. Dan Quinn, on the other hand, is more player-oriented. If something wasn't going right or we kept messing up, he'd level it down, make it easier for everyone to go out there and do what they were going to do. the Cowboys coaching staff, all of whom are on one-year contracts, will begin the 2024 season on the hot seat. And, after not doing much in free agency, owner Jerry Jones is expecting the Cowboys to do more with less. Dallas Cowboys trade for unhappy Davante Adams of Las Vegas Raiders proposed by media. The Las Vegas Raiders can't win in the clutch. The Dallas Cowboys can't score in the red zone. A trade for Davante Adams is a match made in NFL heaven, right? Adams is obviously displeased with the direction of a Raiders team that cannot find a winning formula. As the All-Pro receiver begins his second season in Vegas, he's already growing impatient. "I don't got time to wait around," Adams said following the Raiders' 23-18 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday night as the club dropped to 1-2. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are 2-1, and overall seem to be heading in the right direction, except that an offense accustomed to being top-ranked when it comes to red zone trips and success, number 1 in 2022, is now ranked number 27 in the league when it comes to converting trips into TDs. One solid solution in Dallas? "Let me touch the rock," said Cowboys standout CeeDee Lamb, who hasn't yet really been used in the red zone. And maybe this should end there. Lamb is 24 and on the horizon is a payday that should put him above $20 million APY in a new contract. In a salary cap time, that seems more wise than acquiring Adams, who is 30 and who already makes, on paper, $28 million APY. Sidebar: his cap numbers in 2024, 25 and 26, respectively, are $25 million, $44 million, and $44 million. Nevertheless, the Cowboys are being mentioned by media outlets as a team that should chase Adams in trade. Our view? We see the Vegas problem. Las Vegas went just 6-11 last year, and as the Raiders seem ready to travel the same path, Adams could ultimately try to force the Raiders to move him to a contender before the October 31st NFL trade deadline. And maybe Vegas, recognizing it needs to rebuild, will do so. But we're betting the Cowboys front office's view of Dallas' red zone problem is this: let's not throw money at it, in the form of Adams' massive contract, let's throw the football at it, with Lamb on the receiving end. Adams teaming with Lamb is a sexy idea. But these sort of proposals usually ignore the cap implications. Two $20 million wideouts creates what most experts would term a cap imbalance, and also ignore the trade cost. What did Vegas give the Green Bay Packers in the trade for Adams? A first-round and a second-round pick. What would Vegas want if the Raiders were to flip him? Logic says something akin to that. And logic therefore says that Dallas' passing game solution is already employed by the Cowboys in the form of CeeDee Lamb. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.